even if they don't get the ball, it makes the goalie have to respect that and take a step, maybe gets them off balance, and the next play or the next runner could be the one that puts it in, and that was just lacking there from the Surf.
So Ashlyn Miller to send in this free kick. Are you surprised that they're not just taking them short and trying to build through the midfield? Both sides now have had free kicks in midfield and just tried to send it to the top of the box and hope to win the first and second ball.
It makes a little bit more sense for me for Surf just because they're going with the wind right now, but for the Texans, yeah, I mean, I'd always like to see both teams play through the midfield and just get it down and try to restart as quick as possible. You also have to use, maybe if the elements are in your favor right now, use that to your advantage.
Look at that for a tackle from Simeon. Stepping into the midfield to create that added pressure from her center back position. And she has been very good in the early going, Simeon. It's a good turn from Spalding. Leaves it off at the top of the box. Shot takes a deflection, which takes the sting out of it. And Samuel will quickly distribute it out wide.
That's going to be a good battle if that continues. They're both physical players.
Rogers, it does result in a throw-in for the Surf. Can half time, Rogers score. And there is that battle you talked about. And this time it's Simeon who smartly uses her keeper. It's a good ball out of the back from Mackenzie Samuel. And now chance over the top. The flag goes up, but it will be waved off as it's into the arms of Savannah Harvey. Harvey making her 15th appearance in goal. Kept goal in those semifinals last year for the U15s. Scott unable to get to that ball from Grust. So the Texans with a chance to go forward as we enter into the final minute and a half of the opening 45. One back by Smith. Coleman. Smith. Nicholas. Slides it inside for Smith. And just a bit too far ahead of her.
Nearly
Once again,
there. Yeah.
Another one of those where if we're at Field 14 in Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
Yeah, and this is the best timed one that they've had, is Smith just couldn't get anything on it. But it was played with a little bit less pace into the space and made that challenge between Smith and Harvey one that ended up being just really a stopper. Harvey stopped Smith from a run, but...
And that's something you think Lewis Hunt will address at halftime, is saying, hey, this whole weekend we've talked about adapting, and now we have to adapt to a different kind of surface. Maybe put a little less weight, or as you so eloquently put it, texture, I love that word, on the ball.
I think he really will. When we spoke with him before the game, he seems to be a coach that knows the right things to say to his players in the right moments, right? And it's not as if the Surf team is not playing well. I think one of the things that they can do, too, is just use the combinations between their front runners. So if they want to play into the feet of Smith, bring that other front runner into the space, try to pull a center back away, and then that ball can be softer into space because there's a gap there that they've created with that movement. I think it's just too direct. Both players are doing the same run. It's not dynamic up top.
The interception and the chance in first half stoppage time. Two players flying forward as they work their way into the box. Wagner doing the defending, and that is textbook one-on-one defending by Caroline Wagner.
Such good patience, and she read that rollover touch, rollover tackle. It was a really good job there by Wagner. And that's hard. You know, all the pressure is on the defender when you're 1v1 defending. She does a really good job of just holding her ground.
7th corner kick of the half for the San Diego Surf, and most likely the last. Can they steal the equalizer before the teams head to their respective benches? And this one lifted a bit further out. Coleman gets a foot on it, and it's smacked clear, and that will do it. 1-0, the Dallas Texans lead the San Diego Surf at halftime. Thoughts on the first 45 minutes, Jordan and Jelly?
I think it had a really good pace to it, and both teams showed a little bit of what they want to do. Dallas Texans at first really weathering the storms, denying any opportunities from the Surf, but it was this goal here in the footwork of Spalding that was the difference as they kind of went against the run of play to get that one, and then it was all Surf after that, just peppering up front, trying to find the back of the net. So some adjustments at halftime, but I think overall a little bit more of a game that we expected. Really high quality game.
Well, it's 1-0 after 45 minutes. We're going to go warm up, but we'll be back with you for the final 45 from Aurora, Colorado. At the break, the U16-17 level, it's the Dallas Texans 1, San Diego Surf 0. We are on the verge of kickoff. Development Academy sprint Dallas Texans over the San Diego midfielder Jordan Angeli. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on U.S. Soccer as we are underway from Aurora, Colorado. And the Surf looking to build out of the back. Long ball over the top. And the Surf building through Harrison, who just came on as a halftime sub. Harrison, who traveled with the U.S. Youth National Team to a UEFA event. Coming on has been very important for this club, but hasn't featured too much for the 16-17s because she's playing all the way up with the 18-19s for the Surf.
Yeah, a nice little super sub that you can bring on, and also a testament to the youth and her ability to come into these situations and feel comfortable. Not only that, to provide something different.
Boughton runs into Schroeder, another super sub, and Schroeder has a go. Schroeder had 2 of the 4 goals in the 4-3 win over Oakwood. The other 2 were own goals for Oakwood. Schroeder has 19 goals in just 20 appearances coming into this one for the San Diego Surf.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good stat.
It's a good strike rate for sure.
Yeah, she's doing all right. And nice to give her an ability to see what was going on in the game and see what's not. You know, I think sometimes not starting a game you can feel down and you can feel like, oh, I want to be the player that's starting, but you can use it to your advantage and look how the other team's defending and where the pockets of space are and what the tendencies of other players are, and then go in there and truly make an impact as a sub.
Lovely skill to evade a challenge from Nicholas, and still she goes against the double team. Spalding is in there. Nicholas thinks the throw should go the way of the Surf, but instead it's going to be a throw-in for the Dallas Texans. Throw-in is over the top of Wesco, who came on as a sub.
I was just going to say, as if the game wasn't fast enough, it started to sleet rain right before halftime and during halftime, so I imagine that the pace of this game is only going to increase.
Wagner steps into the midfield to win the ball, but it's played over the top by Pham. Headed out wide by Grust. Wesco coming in as the number 9 and wearing number 9 for the Dallas Texans. Has 17 goals on the season. This one through, looking for the run of Spalding, but it will roll all the way to the keeper. And this is Robles. Another of the plethora of substitutes at halftime.
I like that from Robles. They've been playing into Wesco and just trying to get it as quickly to her as possible, and she just goes across the width of the field, and instead of playing that ball up front, she just recycles it and starts over. I'm into those kind of pace players in the midfield. I feel like they really help a team not only dictate the tempo of the game, but open up gaps.
Oh, this is a beautiful run from Spalding. Leaves it off out wide. Ball lofted up, looking for the head of Wesco, but it bounces into the arms of Mackenzie Samuel.
Yeah, the wind got that one a little bit. It hung up a lot longer, but